diagnosis better. She has served in numerous leadership positions in her community through the Chamber of Commerce, Alberta Summer Games, Toastmasters, and the Rotary, which she joined in 1996. She is a member of the Rotary Club.
Are you coming?
No, I want to watch the movie in there. I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, that must be Robert. She's a member of the Rotary Club in Ahihic and is an honorary member of the Rotary E-Club of Canada 1. Ellie and Ramiro have traveled through over 32 countries, which is pretty remarkable. And they learned about their cultures and language and now make this their home. With Ramiro's dementia progressing and the lack of resources and the stigma around the disease, she felt the desire to create more awareness and started researching and studying the topic. Out of this was born Lakeside Daybreak Dementia Support. You may have seen Ellie and Ramiro walking hand in hand through Ahihic on the Malecon. Ellie loves life and is grateful for all the opportunities it has offered. She loves to write, spend time outdoors, meet new people, and be around friends and family, but most of all, spending time with the love of her life, Ramiro. So, without further ado,
thank you, Greg. Wow. Wow. How many, look, and Ramiro's not even here. I don't know, maybe they got lost. Good afternoon, friends of Lakeside. Who would have thought that we have such an overwhelming crowd here? Well, with more than 55 million people around the world dealing with dementia and a huge percentage of elderly living amongst us here at Lakeside, it makes sense that we start learning and talking more about this disease and create more awareness. So what is to whom I may concern? Let me start and give you a little bit of history. Inspired by her work with individuals with Alzheimer's and their families, To Whom I May Concern is a brainchild of Maureen Matthews, who has worked with memory impaired individuals for over 30 years. Searching for a way to support and encourage dialogue between individuals with dementia and the people around them, Maureen developed the project as a way to facilitate this communication. From a single group performance created as part of her dissertation, To Whom I May Concern has grown into a program that is used by groups around the country, the United States, to help understand what it means to have diagnosis of dementia. It's also offered in Australia, and today will be the first time this program is offered in Mexico. But that's only as a result of our courageous cast, who shared their stories and experience, which has been turned into a beautiful flowing performance crafted by Alicia, which will be introduced shortly. With this performance, we hope to remove the stigma of progressive brain illness and invite you to join us in the building of a more dementia-friendly and inclusive community.
So I'm going to introduce Alicia, and I better get this right. Those that know me, you know why. This afternoon, it's my pleasure to introduce Alicia Knox. Alicia is the co-founder of Project Somos Learning Village in Guatemala, where she resided on site at the project for 13 years. I happened to be there next to her during that time as well. Alicia is a highly respected professional photographer known for making authentic connections with her subjects. She also works with individuals to tell their life stories through guided autobiography classes and short films, original films that tell original stories of people. Info about the guided autobiography and that other information about stories, storytelling, and legacies are out on the front table if you're interested. With a background that spans 30 years in the nonprofit world, Alicia consistently demonstrated an ability to build authentic community while listening to and documenting people's stories. Alicia took on the role of scribe for To Whom I May Concern. Her engaging approach and deep compassion for her subjects made her an ideal person to do this work. As well as all of the above, Alicia, if you hadn't guessed, is my beloved wife for the past 20 years. Please join me in welcoming Alicia.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is absolutely amazing. For the last 6-7 weeks, we've been gathering here on Monday mornings to prepare this presentation that will take place today. And for me, it's been an incredible learning experience. I went from meeting this group of 5 to falling in love with each one of them. And I just feel so honored to have had this position, to be able to hear each of your stories, and today for us to be able to share with everyone else. So I'd like to introduce you to our cast. Here we have Kat Bowen, Curly Lieberman, we have Alan Saul, we have Ron Howardson, and on the screen from the US, we have Robert English. So the words that you will hear each of our cast members read are direct quotes from them, from questions, from prompts that we provided over the number of weeks. And then we took and put together this script. So without further ado, and I will be here supporting each cast member if there's any stumbles or questions. So you will see me wandering around. So thank you again for being here today.
Filled with appointments for most days of the week. And I have to coordinate with my husband's calendar.
I have pieces of paper all over the place to help me remember things I've got to do.
I used to be able to remember everything. My partner tells me to write it down. I write more things down now.
I often miss appointments because I get confused about the month, the day, and the time. I often don't feel well and cancel things.
My phone beeps to warn me half an hour before I need to go somewhere. I miss appointments, but I contact them. They know where I am and where I stand. I'm not shy about it.
In my new reality, to put it bluntly, I am pissed off. I have not been an easy patient. I've gone in and out of care homes. This is the last one. I intend for this home to be the end of the road. I was a dancer. I started falling down. That's when I got myself diagnosed with dementia. It has manifested in the physical for me. I'm certainly not tap dancing anymore. I was in a book club, but stopped being able to read. The reading has come back. I haven't fully accepted my diagnosis. From talking to others, I know acceptance is important. I'm sorry, but I still can't tell you I accept it. I know the few times I did accept it, it felt better. I started going to a therapist. It helped me to talk. She's very nice. Just having someone to talk to helps me. What I remember, I went to a psychiatrist. Someone must have sent me. The psychiatrist sent me to Guadalajara for 8 million tests, approximately. The result was that I have dementia. That was what she said. She also told me that I have a really high IQ and I'm good with language. I asked her, do I have to pay you for telling me that? I know that.
Thanks, hon.
I'm smart. I believe the word dementia. The word dementia was mentioned. I now go to a doctor every 5 minutes and have a million doctors. They still have never given me another diagnosis. I have no idea. Maybe if I wrote a letter, an open general letter to all those who care about me. Here goes. To whom I may concern. I know you think I made a mistake. You think I meant to write to whom it may concern. But it's not a mistake. This letter is not about an it. It's a nameless, faceless object. This letter is about an I, and that I is me. I'm writing to let you know what it's like to be me these days. My life has changed. Most people don't even let others know about it. We keep quiet about this. You see, I have been diagnosed with dementia. Sounds bad, right? Actually, it's a terrible word. To lose one's mind. But you can see I haven't lost my mind. I have some problems, yes, but I'm still managing one day at a time. Which brings me back to the purpose of my letter. I want to share with you what it's like to live with this terrible disease. Yes, it's a terrible disease, but that doesn't mean that my life is terrible. I want so much for you to understand that because I think it would make you more comfortable when we're together. I can't always find the words to do it when I'm with you in person. Actually, that's a part of the problem. Sometimes my mind goes blank, and by the time I find the words, you've already moved on to the next topic. So I'm hoping a letter will be a better way to share my thoughts with you. A letter allows me to find the words without losing your attention. So here it goes. Let me start at the beginning, which takes me back to the first days of memory tests. Those were scary times. I've spoken to many others who've gone through the same thing. And for all of us, getting a diagnosis was the beginning of a whole new chapter in our lives. I get very confused and overwhelmed. Thankfully, my husband comes with me to my doctor's appointments. When I leave the doctor, I have to ask my husband to clarify what the doctor said. I am concerned. They prescribe a lot of drugs and then they change them. I am not sure I trust doctors.
I started to notice some issues. I used to talk a lot, not saying I don't now. My memory started to go, progressively getting less and less, in my opinion. I'm not afraid of what I have. It happens. I have to live with it. I prefer to sit and read now. Used to be really outgoing. We still travel, and until I can no longer travel.
I noticed my memory getting bad. The doctor told me to go to the memory clinic. My diagnosis took a long time. So many tests. Eventually, they told me that I had primary progressive aphasia and Alzheimer's disease. It explained a lot.
I wasn't getting the gist of what other people were saying. I had an assessment done. I definitely have issues with maintaining what is going on. I forget things.
I had a heart attack in 2020, and for the heart attack, they gave me meds. I noticed when I was taking them, I couldn't remember things as well. My memory was affected. I didn't get much advice or answers.
To those that tell us what and how to do it, we're doing our best to adapt, to continue living our lives, but the ground under our feet is shifting. I have a whiteboard. Everything goes on it. A friend of mine said to me, "Oh, I always write everything on a piece of paper." I wanted to slap him. I am so beyond writing on a little piece of paper. The whiteboard works for me. It isn't pretty though, but it works for me. I have an electric clock that says the day of the week and the date. I cross-reference everything. I'm used to it, and for now that works for me. When you have dementia, they say you are supposed to exercise your brain, learn new things.
I started to write things down, try to concentrate more. I have always had a hard time concentrating my whole life. Writing. I ask people things. I try not to ask too much. I carry a notebook and pen. I don't ever use them. I try to.
I wake up every morning. I feel blessed. I am so grateful in so many other ways. I keep reflecting on that.
If I can't remember something, I'll ask the person. I haven't told them what's going on with me. I just try to be normal.
I didn't do much adapting. I just wanted to make sure I enjoy my life. I thought about giving up driving. I haven't driven for a couple weeks.
I had to give up driving 1 year ago. That has been very difficult. I experienced a lack of independence, and for me, that's big.
I bought a new car the day before I was diagnosed. I do not drive anymore. I think I still could. But with the traffic here, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I don't drive. I quit driving when I came to Mexico.
Never liked driving.
I don't know how anyone drives around here.
I drove a school bus for 8 years. It was hard for me to give up driving. I think it's fun. It would be too much of a risk now.
Cars kill people. I prefer my bike. I still can ride the bike and enjoy it.
For me, the car was the biggest symbol of independence. I know how to take a taxi. I do it. I don't like it. It's not the way I want to go, but I don't walk well either.
My husband goes to bed later than me. He told me I fell on the way to my bed. I don't remember anything. I woke up with a Band-Aid on my arm. I asked my husband, where did that come from? I don't remember any of it. That I don't know what happened, it makes me scared. It is frightening and causes much anxiety. I like to get out of the house every single day. I am very social. I am a very social person. I feel better when I am connecting with others.
Socializing is important to me too.
We treasure our autonomy. We need to respect other people's choices.
It must be hard for my partner. She understands. She is good. She does her best. She helps me a lot.
I've given up yoga, I've given up walking, and now I use a cane. I've given up hiking, I've given up classes. I just can't keep up. It all inhibits me. I like to learn things. I am very curious. I have problems playing games now. I just can't do it. It's too confusing and I can't follow what's going on. My life has totally changed.
Processing things is hard. When driving, I have to really concentrate. When several people are talking at the same time, that's impossible.
I can't concentrate on too many things at one time. Concentrating is the hardest thing for me. If everyone is talking, I stay quiet.
I don't like crowds at all because I become overwhelmed and anxious.
I still read, mostly ones that deal with spirituality, mysticism.
I've been working on a book. I'm writing a book about time. My work was about how the brain processes time. It's about time is the title. The last few days, I spent time on my book. My wife and I do puzzles every day, Wordle, connections, Worldle. I used to do the New York Times crosswords every day. I do a lot of reading. I read lots of different things.
I read a lot. I always have one book going, sometimes two, but I don't like that. I've always been a big reader. When I was first diagnosed, I thought I couldn't read. By the time I got to the second page, I forgot the first page. The ability to read has come back to me. I was in a book club, but I can't do that anymore. I'm glad I got out. They weren't reading books I wanted to read.
Adesso si vivrò con te, partirò su navi per mari, solo che io vivrò.
I love music. It lifts me up. Italian opera. I pretty much like all kinds of music. Except I don't like country. If I put music on, I feel a million times better.
My voice is going away. I have to be conscious of speaking loudly.
I don't think about what I'm saying. It just comes out of my mouth. I find myself talking a lot, which has been noticed by others, of course. I'm also bipolar. I feel cut off. I go into another tangent. Some people get frustrated with me.
The worst thing you can say to someone with dementia, remember when? No, I don't.
I get confused handling money, trying to pay or figure out a bill or a check. It's impossible now.
One of the things that is hard for me is when more than one person is talking. I get irritated when people talk too much. Crowded places are hard.
Well, I like to be in crowds. Doesn't bother me. I like to be around people.
I don't like people talking when I try to think. I can't hold on to my own thought. I say, I've had a lot. I can't take this much more stimulation.
I have to concentrate when I'm driving. My wife has learned not to talk when I'm driving.
To all of those who avoid us because they don't understand, the truth is that people leave. They leave and I cry. I cry a lot. Before I was very active. I'm single, and that's fine with me. I do have a lot of people in my life. I know people from all the activities I was involved with. I feel like a lot of people don't know what to do with me. So they don't do anything. That's been hard for me. I'm a very social person. To have so many people leave has been difficult. I would like to see some of these people I used to do stuff with reach out to me. I was reaching out to them, but don't as much anymore. I don't know how to make it happen. I went to Ellie's presentation on dementia. People don't understand what's going on with us. That was a big theme of the talk. Some of the people that are closest to me don't want to come to the performance because they're uncomfortable with the whole concept. But we're not the only ones who are changing. Dementia has a way of changing the people around us too. We have friends and loved ones and even healthcare professionals who treat us very differently when they learn that we have cognitive changes. This disease can bring out the best in people and sometimes sadly the worst. I've heard stories that really warm your heart and others that make you cry.
I'm not afraid to say I don't understand. I am living with memory loss. It's a fact of life. I may not remember something in a few days. I tell people right up front, it's new to me too. I want people to know I'm not going to try and hide it. I learned something today about physicality. I have a cane. I've fallen down a few times, broken my fingers. I have lived with, they don't want to talk to me. They don't have to. When I'm diagnosed, my wife realized I wasn't. Oh, how come it's not?
You want to read my part?
It sounds like me.
We're all the same. When I got diagnosed, my wife realized I wasn't just making it up. I never really talked much. Now there's an explanation for that. It may seem like the diagnosis is an excuse for that, but it is the way it is. It's nice to get the diagnosis to understand what is going on.
I know I've changed. I used to talk a lot. I used to have an opinion about everything. I won't challenge. I still do, but now I'm content to read and watch TV. I'm lucky I have a wife that works with me.
I'm very social. I still have the ability to socialize, but I find myself not socializing like I used to. I feel unable to make plans due to my mental state and my health challenges from day to day. I still like to go out and see plays, musicals, and concerts. It's great for me. People keep asking me, how are you? I don't want to go into it, as I don't think people can grasp my health issues. I can go out with them and have a good time. I only talk about it with my very close friends. I try to make the best of it all. I'm pretty much in a good mood every day. We don't know what the future is going to be, and I try to maintain a positive attitude. I'm going to make the best of my life.
I'm not that social. My nature is to be quiet. I have friends I used to talk to on the phone. Now and then we would talk. They have quit calling me. This one friend, his wife wouldn't talk to me anymore, but he would. But after several months, he stopped calling me altogether. I don't know. I don't know if I've changed.
I turned down a lot of social things. Friends call, they want me to play games. I can't play games. I can't read well. They don't know I have all these things going on. It's like a lot for them to take in. I can't even take it all in. I am embarrassed. I'm worried about what I'm going to do after this program. What am I going to do without it? This is going to be hard for me.
Dear friends and past friends, there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to tell everyone. I didn't want them not knowing what the hell was happening to me. I have good people in my life, and I felt that they would be there for me. Many of them have told me that they know other people that didn't tell them. They preferred that I did tell them. I have lost people along the way. Only the close friends have stuck around. I butt dialed an old friend the other day. We had a lovely conversation. She hasn't called me in I don't know how long. I understand people are getting on with their lives. Every time they say, I wish I could be there for you, I tell them, honestly, that's all I want. But they don't ever come.
When people started asking what happened, I said, you're going to know it up front. I'm going to say things that are stupid. I've got cognitive issues. You can join me whether you like it or not. Tomorrow I might not be talking. Most have started to ask questions. I don't have the answers.
You don't know what the future will bring. I am going to be 77. I want to make the best of the rest of my life. You can't change it. I adapt to it. I tell my close friends, they see it with the games and confusion. It's difficult to understand it. Once I stop talking, that could be a huge thing for me. Don't get me wrong. I do get depressed. There are days I prefer to retreat, but I choose to live my life in gratitude.
My two best friends with whom I was still in touch didn't want to talk to me anymore, so we no longer talk. Makes me wonder what I did or didn't do. People say I've told you this so many times. I've got to keep asking because I don't remember. I hardly ever talk to anybody about anything.
I don't tend to like to talk to people. I haven't had any bad reactions. Generally, people seem to care.
I've been searching for something like this group for a long time. I used to function well and also ran groups, which was part of my profession. I have long searched for something that allowed me to interact and relate to others with similar complication issues such as mine. I do have macular degeneration and Parkinson's disease. As of yet, I have not met anyone with Parkinson's to have a conversation with.
Dear friend who has just been diagnosed, let me tell you what gets me up in the morning. For me, I have to have something to do. I have to have a project. I'm writing down recipes and that keeps me occupied. I've been a healthy eater all my life, and that's not always possible when you live in a care facility. I decided to start making salads in my room, maybe share my recipes with the cook. A healthy diet must include vegetables and may help slow down the progress. When I was first diagnosed, I thought it was the end of life, so I sold my house and I sold the car, which I had just bought. Then I realized I made a mistake and decided not to just give up. It's not the end. We can still live life to the fullest.
It's a new day. I try not to look back. I am hopeful. That's what I have because I don't know what what the future will bring.
A lot of people I know have socially changed. I haven't, in my mind, I haven't. It's hard for me to understand when friends respond by saying, you already told me that. I understand, but don't remember. I don't shrug it off, and I try not to get upset. I have to figure out how to circumvent that. As you guys know, you try hard to do something, you don't get over it. You isolate yourself. Sometimes I think my friends don't want to hear me. I expect they're going to say, I repeat myself, and they often do.
I have good days and bad days. I cancel a lot of social events. Like the other night, we had a party we were invited to. I turned it down. I wasn't up for it.
For me, listening to music, reading, working, being out in nature and bike rides get me up in the morning.
I try to talk about what it's like for me. I do something wrong, it isn't going to get fixed. I'm still going to do the same thing. I say, I'll try to do better. Having dementia, early onset, cognitive, all this stuff, that's fine. That doesn't help me walk. I have to go to a physiotherapist. What do I have to work on? The physical part and the mental part in a command center.
I love to see beauty, nature, trees, things, people. I like to laugh.
I love Mexicans. I know how to relate to them even without the language. Mexicans see my heart and who I am. That lights me up.
If the sun is up and I'm up, I don't think about what I've got or what is happening to me. They will look at me when I'm talking. I may go off. I forgot names a lot. They may say, you known me for a long time. I say, yup. But it's what it's like to be me for now. The doctors say it's cognitive, and I have to live with it. The more people know, the more they understand. I know it's frustrating for my wife. If I don't write it down, I write it down. I may remember better. Every day my wife will write down what we will do that day. I have to live with it. I'm not going to go and hide in the corner. Nobody's being able to tell me you're getting a bit better. I don't think so. I have a saying, I'm still walking on the earth. As long as I'm still walking on the earth, I'm okay.
I feel disabled. Nature brings me joy. I am not able to do the things I used to do. I have to accept that. My husband has been just standing. I don't know what life would be without him. I have a fear about my memory loss getting worse. I'm not sure I want to stick around if I become a burden. My father had it, so I'm well aware of what can happen. I don't want to be a burden. I want to enjoy myself for the time left.
We have traveled a lot. We've both wanted to move down here. We are going to finish our lives here, however that comes about.
To whom I may concern. What more can I tell you? Let me just end by going back to the eye of your concern. You can see from our stories that we are ordinary people trying to make the most of a difficult situation. We don't want to disappear. We're doing all the things the experts say we should be doing. We exercise our minds and our bodies. We keep up with the research. We take our pills. We also try to forget. I know that may sound funny. Forgetting is at the heart of our problem. But we do try to forget about our illness. We don't want it to define us. We're more than our memory. And on that note, let me end this letter. Enough about me. How are you these days? Let's get together soon. And thanks for listening, and thanks for your concern. Gratefully, fondly, fondly, currently.
Gratefully, Kat.
Hopefully, Robert.
Happily, Alan.
With love, Ron.
Well, I'm sorry you missed it.
Well, you knew it was gonna be you and me to cry. You did.
No, this is live.
That's what I do.
They all talked about how it impacts them, and some of them were very that one woman was crying a lot.
So it's a very hard act to follow. We have a special addition. Robert, who's coming in via Zoom, is going to offer a poem. And I don't, show of hands. Who knows the poet Rumi? Okay, so one of Robert's interests is poetry and mystical poetry. So he has offered to recite a poem from Rumi. And when I say recite, he doesn't have this. Are you there, Robert?
Yes. Yes, I'm
Awesome.
here. I'm ready when,
We are waiting and ready.
okay. There is some kiss we want with our whole lives, the touch of spirit on the body. Seawater begs the pearl to break its shell, and the lily, how passionately it needs some wild darling. At night, I open the window and ask the moon to come and press its face against mine. Breathe into me. Close the language door and open the love window. Moon won't use the door, only the window.
So all 5 of them are struggling with communication mostly and memory.
Wow. I've heard this a few times and it still touches me. What an amazing performance. You all did such a wonderful job, you know, and Robert reciting his poem. You would say a person with memory loss cannot remember those words. I couldn't remember them. You are the stars of the show. People keep saying, oh, you did so. No, I'm not doing this. You're doing this, not me. This performance would not have been possible without your willingness to share. We all learned so much. It's also important that I recognize your care partners, and Elaine and Sarah and Richard and Peggy is online. I would like you all to stand up. Lorraine, Lorraine. Yeah, Lorraine, thank you. You know, you've been here for them all this time, and it's important that you're being recognized. I know what it's like. Trust me, I know what caregiving is all about. I also like to thank Alicia for accepting the role as scribe and for being such a great team member together with Greg. During our weekly gatherings over the past 2 months, we laughed, we cried, and we became friends. We all have difficult days from time to time, and when we do, it helps to think about the positive things in life, such as the birds, the beautiful flowers, the sunny sky, the freedom that we have here, or just a smile on somebody's face. Expressing gratitude by writing down these positive moments in a journal can help us through the day. I've had that experience myself. So today, I'm going to share with you, give you something that can give you a much needed boost as a reminder that life is good. So I like to present each of you with a gratitude journal to thank you. And Robert, I will save yours for you to thank you.
Thank you.
For your days. When you have the time, just look at your journal and reflect on all the good things. Thank you.
No surprise, but Alan spoke the least.
Well, I don't know, but I'll say what I had
No,
written
you stay
down.
there if you want.
No, I can sit here. I had just written a very short something. And to all of you, we appreciate you coming to this event this evening. And we hope you will leave with a new perspective what our lives are about today. I want to give a special thanks to Ellie, Alicia, Greg, and to all who have made this event possible. Thank you.
So before we have, there's going to be question and answers. I believe, Ron, you ready? I will give you this and. No.
This is an Alzheimer's poem by Kelly Treehouse. Don't ask me to remember. Don't try to make me understand. Let me rest and know you're with me. Kiss my cheek, hold my hand. I'm confused beyond your concept. I'm sad, sick, and lost. All I know is I need you to be with me at all costs. Don't lose your patience with me. Do not scold or cry my cry. Do not scold. I can help the way I'm acting. I can't help the way I'm walking. Can't be different, though I try. I remember I need you, and the best for me is gone. Don't fail to stand beside me. I love you till my life is done. Thank you. Yeah.
So I believe it's pretty obvious the benefit to everyone here for us hearing the stories and the telling of the stories. It's both ways. And this work is really important. And as Ellie mentioned, 55 million people globally have this disease.
Thank you. Did we collect enough donation? Don't leave yet because we have more. And after we're all gonna treat you to something really nice. So you may wanna just stick around a little bit. We have a little moment. Some of you may have questions for the cast or for Melissa or for myself. And this will be a good time to ask those questions. Are there any questions? No? Okay. Oh, yes. We should have had a microphone there.
What doctor?
Okay, we have a Facebook page. It's called Lakeside Daybreak Dementia Support. And there you will find a list of doctors, neurologists, and also local doctors here that are very familiar with the disease, and you can contact those. Yeah. Any other questions? Way in the back. Yeah. Tanya, that's Tanya.
Hi, I like to ask the question to each of the cast members. Instead of when people ask, how are you? What would you rather that a person asked you instead? My mother suffers from dementia, and I found myself falling into that trap of asking her, how do you feel, Mom? And it's not a good question to ask. What should I ask instead?
What you should ask. Yeah, Ron, go for it.
I use a saying, with my age, I'm still walking on the earth, on the surface, and it's a great day.
So what would you want her to ask you?
Just what she did. What did she say? Yeah, how are you? I'm still walking on this earth. Love it.
And that may be different for each person. Kat.
Be nice, for somebody just to call and say, hey, what you doing today? You want to get together? I know you don't drive, but you know, I could pick you up. Maybe we could just go for whatever, a walk in the park, a cup of coffee, breakfast. You know, just to be supportive, just to know that people, you know, care about you and think about you, even though, like I said, I may not be the same, but I am the same. I am the same person. And I love a lot of my friends here. I'm fortunate. I do have a lot of friends here, and I would love to see them more often. So that's what I would say.
Well put.
Like people to tell me what they're doing and tell me about themselves, or tell them about themselves, what I said there. Okay.
Good question.
What next?
Oh,
This is a finite program. What's next?
well, there have been people that,
Kat.
I have been approached, will you do this again? Yes, we will do this again in the fall if there's enough interest. We have space for about 5 people, and outside you'll find some invitation cards where you can find, and I'll send you the registration, and then we'll see where we start. We have a number of other projects on the go. I have a whole list of things, and people keep coming to me and say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. The next program is going to be a poetry program that we will bring to the various care homes. We have a person that is going to be specially trained for that with poems from the past, and people that may be just sitting all day long with their eyes closed in their chair. As soon as they start reciting the poems, they get up and they recite the poems from their memory from the past. So there's a whole lot of things. So I encourage you to go to our Facebook page. Maybe that should be showing up now, the page or whatever is on there. It's the same as the name of the organization. Yeah. For them. Yes, well, let's skip a little bit. Let's wait a little bit. We'll do that later.
If you have a question, you need to speak into the mic so the people on Zoom can hear you.
Yes, we do that. We'll make sure that the mic goes over there. I hope you still, oh, another
I
question.
I have a question. First of all, thank you very much for your honesty, because I know dementia's hidden and, as you said, people don't want to talk about it. I'm curious what the turning point was that made you acknowledge the fact you were having memory loss and and then went and got diagnosed.
So,
As I said, I was a dancer. And when I fell down 3 days in a row in front of the dance studio, I said, there is something wrong here. I mean,
yeah, we're kind of, people are good at knowing how their thinking goes, I think. And, I always had trouble with memory. I never had a very good memory. And then I could notice that it was getting worse and worse. It was a very long, slow process, but it was very clear to me. And then it was confirmed with cognitive testing.
For me, it started with macular degeneration. And so I never expected that to happen. That was like a shock to begin with. And I think I went through my worst time accepting that. And then I started to get these really bad panic attacks where I had no idea where I was. The last panic attack I had, my husband had to call the ambulance and I was totally unconscious. And I had one actually with one of my girlfriends who was here. We were at the Tuesday market. All of a sudden I just passed out. I mean, I had started to have these really bad panic attacks. So I have a psychiatrist. I went to her and she's a marvelous, marvelous woman. And so she was the one that started the ball rolling for me. And then, like you said, and all of us, we've had incredible amounts of tests. And by those tests, they can see a lot and tell a lot. And a lot of things came up I had no idea. That's what I mean. I'm not just dealing with one thing, but I take one day at a time. I feel great. Nobody knows. And they can look at me and go, oh, what? I still talk a mile a minute. Nobody can shut me up, even in class, right? They couldn't shut me up at all. So it's hard, if you don't look like you have something, it's not like if you broke your arm or if you have cancer or yada, yada, yada. It's much easier to detect. But I just suggest that so that's what I'm saying. It comes in all kinds of forms. That's the other thing about it. When we got together, and that's what I found interesting, we all described different things that we had. They weren't the same things. So it comes out in different ways. Yeah, that's.
I think that
Oh, one more.
be wrong, but I think, and again, I may be. I think things start out when they say you have cognitive issues. What is cognitive issues? And then they'll say, well, you're having a little memory loss. And everybody avoids that one word, dementia. And because once you got dementia, you're stuck in, and that's the way I was brought up. That's the way most of us were. Dementia is the end of the road. But is it? Because what have I got? I've had loss of memory, cognitive issues, and all of this stuff. But nobody says dementia. Because that's the step off the end of the pier. To me. It took me a while to understand that, yeah, it's not going to get better. It's a progressive disease. There isn't a shot. There isn't an antibiotic that'll do it. So you live with it. And I think that I was one of those ones, he's got dementia. I don't know what to do with him. And I was. Now that I've got whatever it is, I'm still walking on the earth.
You were all given this index card, and I hope you all wrote something before the performance. And now I ask you to turn the card around and write down what 5 words describe the experience of those living with early dementia or MCI now after you've heard them talk. Your words may be different, and we would like you to write those words, and then they hand them in or leave them at the table with your pencils, please, when you leave. But don't leave the ground yet, because we're going to treat you. Now, before we find this is the boring thing for you, but it's important for me, because I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge all those who have made this happen. First of all, I'm very grateful for the founder, Audrey, and my teacher, Laura, who I believe were on Zoom, to whom I may concern, for allowing me to bring this amazing and important program to Lakeside here in Mexico. I also am very appreciative of our technical team with Devora, Kelly was there, and Michael helped out, and Matt, Reverend Matt Elsfeld. My dear friend, Joan Fletcher, who's outside, she took on the role of volunteer coordinator, and she has arranged and planned something beautiful for all of you outside. And also many of the volunteers who are actually members of our spousal care group who meets every Tuesday morning. So if you have a spouse, and Kathy Merle here is actually one of the founders who started this. Maybe Kathy, stand up. And from this group, we get a lot of support, and they came here to help us. And I also have other friends who came here and help us. Many volunteers, Rotarians. Our piano player, Shirley King, beautiful. I also like to give a special thanks to Hector from Mannix, who has been very gentle with us on the cost of some beautiful treats for you tonight, and some beverages. And all of those who believed in me and encouraged me and supported me, the Clemens family and Loretta and the Rotary Club. Jeanette is here with her husband, David, from the Ajijic Rotary Club. And also Reverend Sarah Shirley, rector of the St. Audrey Church Group, who graciously helped us and lent us the space here. So would you come up, please? You want to say a few words?
I just wanted to welcome everybody to St. Andrews. We are very, very pleased and proud to host Lakeside Daybreak. We also are hosting a Parkinson's group on Fridays. And we want to be a truly dementia-friendly church, and we don't know how. So we're learning from our friends here that come and grace our facility with their presence. You know, I mean, you saw that my husband is one of the cast members. Yay. And I also care for my stepfather, who I hope we're moving here in September. He has more advanced Alzheimer's disease and is in a memory unit in Virginia. And my mom died of brain cancer. So of course her brain got destroyed. And Alan is a neuroscientist. So he's going to tell me I'm absolutely wrong about this as soon as this is over, so that he can tell me. And I'm sure he'll be right, but my belief is that it is the most beautiful brains that end up getting damaged with dementia, Alzheimer's disease, brain cancer, Parkinson's, etc. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Yeah. But I'm wrong, right, Alan? Yeah, I'm wrong. Anyway, please help us learn how to be an Alzheimer's and dementia and everything else friendly church. If you have any suggestions, please share them with me. And I certainly hope we'll be continuing to host Lakeside Daybreak as well as the Parkinson's group. So thank you all for being here and blessing our facility.
Greg,
Oh, yeah, right.
can't say something about how we're gonna continue meeting?
Oh, well, I was hoping that, oh.
Anyway, I was really hoping that our little group that I absolutely adore, I mean, it's been so meaningful to have them all, to be with them all. If there's some way we can continue, or if you have any suggestions about how we could get together on a fairly regular basis, if people can do it.
He promised us, Sarah already promised us that we can keep the Monday morning room there. And if there's others in this audience that would like to participate, they can send us a, is that still on the screen? No? Okay. They can send us a message and I will share with them where you can be. So you have a support group. Right? Well, yeah. Okay, maybe I can promise that. But anyway, we're going to, yes, we have something else happening. Yeah.
So there is a surprise in the garden for everyone. I believe there's some lovely beverages and some food to share. And also, I think there's a song that we're going to sing now, aren't we? Well, I think it's that. Yes. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ron. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, yay, cake. So the last thing I would say is anyone after all the food and beverages, if they're really full of lots of energy and they want to help us clean up, you're welcome to stay. Thank you.